Kasi kung yung nag-aaral nga po ng abogasiya, nahihirapan yun maintindihan, paano pa kaya po yung walang pinag-aralan? I just want to make it clear, Mr. Chair, that nothing cures an illegal arrest. Okay? Wala pong makaka-cure doon. The waiver of Article 125 only cures the period that you are detained without a valid warrant.
Narinig ko na rin po yan nung nag-aaral po ako ng law. Kaya wag nyo na po kaming lecturean dyan. Nothing cures an illegal arrest, but you have to prove that the arrest was illegal yet. Di po ba? When can a peace officer or a citizen of this country arrest a person without any warrant of arrest? Kasi yun yung issue na nilalabas tungkol sa kaso na ito eh. There are 3 instances according to the rules of court. Tama po ba?
Arrest without warrant. A peace officer or private person may, without a warrant, arrest a person when, in his presence, the person to be arrested has committed, is actually committing or attempting to commit an offense.
Yan yung kwan, in flagrante delicto na sinasabi ninyo ng mga kapulisan, di ba?
Sir.
Yes. What's the second one?
When an offense has just been committed and he has probable cause to believe, based on his personal knowledge of facts or circumstances, that the person to be arrested has committed it. See, when the person to be arrested is prisoner who has escaped from penal establishment or place where he is serving final judgment or temporarily confined while his case is pending or has escaped while being transferred from one confinement area to another.
Kung titingnan po natin, yung pag-aresto po ninyo dun sa accused ay under paragraph 2, yung second situation. Tama rin po ba?
Tama po.
Tama. At dyan din malalaman natin kung they were arrested also pursuant to a hot pursuit operation. Tama rin po ba?
Tama po.
Yes. Now, how do you define yung second one, a peace officer or a private person may, without a warrant of arrest, arrest a person when an offense has just been committed and has probable cause to believe, based on his personal knowledge of facts or circumstances, that the person to be arrested has committed it. Ikaw ba yung investigador?
Yes po, ako po yung investigador.
So, nakita mo ba na na-fulfill itong Section 5B of Rule 113?
Opo, dahil nasaksihan ko po yung na mayroon po talagang sinunog na bus at nakausap ko po yung witness at sinabi po nila na may 4 na tao ang suspect na nagsunog ng bus.
At ang sinasabi po ninyo, tuloy-tuloy po yung ginawa po ninyo sa investigasyon hanggang dun sa pag-aresto at pag-file ng kaso.
Opo.
Tama.
Simula po nung time na mangyari yung incident at nakausap po namin itong witness, tuloy-tuloy na po yung aming ginawang follow-up operation para lang po tuluyang makilala itong mga sinasabing 4 na lalaki na suspect na nagsunog ng minibus.
Thank you. So, in other words, the person was arrested pursuant to the provisions of Rule 113, Section 5B of the Rules of Court. Tama?
Tama po.
So, as far as this interpolator is concerned, nasunod naman yung requirements for that rule na yung immediacy na tinatanong kanina ni Arlene Brosas na from the time of the commission of the offense up to the time of the arrest ay dire-diretso dapat yung operation.
Apo, dire-diretso naman po yung ginawa namin operation at follow-up operation.
Yeah, thank you. May I ask the Chief of Police? Yung bang mga accused, talagang may reservation doon sa hotel?
Pali po sir, meron sir silang nag-text po sir sila doon, and then may reservation sir sila, pero nag-advance sir sila. Dapat sir sila ay, according to Mikasa sir, sa record nila, February 1 pa sana sir is darating sila. Naging January 31 sir sila dumating sir ng hapon sir.
Tama ba yung pagkarinig ko na February 1 yung reservation nila pero January 31 nag-check-in sila?
Yes sir, opo sir.
Yes. And no explanation was given, or did you ever ask that question?
Sir, may I repeat the question sir?
I beg your pardon?
Sir, may I repeat the question sir? May I repeat the question?
Hindi nyo tinanong kung bakit ganon?
Bale sir, tinanong namin sir yung Mikasa sir.
Hindi, yung mga accused nung kwan na.
Bale sir, sila sir ay kada salita nila sir ay kinakailangan na sir ng kanilang counsel sir, kaya hindi na sir sila nagsasalita po sir.
Okay. Now, at what point in time did you know na merong arson na nangyayari?
Bale sir, noong almost 8 ng gabi sir, nung tumawag sir yung concerned citizen sir, doon namin nalaman sir na may nangyayaring arson sir.
Sa report ninyo, ang sinabi ninyo, the arson was committed on or about 7:30 in the evening.
Yes sir.
How did you arrive at that conclusion?
Yun sir yung sinabi sir nung witness sir na yung pagbaba niya sir, yung pagbaba ng mga witness sir. Yung witness po sir yung nag-ano po nun sir. Victims. Sorry sir.
Yeah, yung mga witnesses ninyo ang nagsabi
Yes sir.
na
Witness, sir.
7:30.
Yes sir.
Okay. Now, yung bus nanggaling sa Gumaka, di ba?
Yes sir, opo sir.
O, tagarong ka sa Quezon. How long would a bus travel from Gumaka to Katanawan?
Kaya niya sir ng 2 hours sir na takbuhin sir. Yun lang yung ano lang sir, yung mabagal sir. Pero kung bibilisan mo sir, kaya sir yun ng 1 oras sir.
Okay. So, tama rin yung statement ng driver. Kasi tinitignan ko kung nag-uuma lahat yung statement eh. Second issue, kagaya ng sinabi kanina ng mga ibang director, they cannot understand na may must yung mga yung alleged perpetrators, paano nakilala. Pwede ko bang malaman kung paano na-identify ng mga witnesses yung pagmumuka o kung sino-sino yung mga tao?
Na-identify sir ng mga witnesses natin sir kung sino-sino sir yung mga tao. Kasi sir, nung tumatakbo sir yung sasakyan, bigla nila sir pinatigil, ay may ilaw pa siya sir, may ilaw. Kumbaga sir, malakas yung ilaw, ang ilaw sir ipapaganyan. Kasi modernized jeep siya sir, mataas yung kanyang ilaw. So, nung tumigil siya, is buhay pa sir yung ilaw, tapos nakilala sir yung mga suspect dahil wala pa sir silang lagay sa mukha sir. Since na hindi raw sir sila hindi titigilan kung may lagay sir sa mukha sir, may takip. So naglagay na lang sir sila, according to witness sir, naglagay na lang sir ng takip sa mukha sir nung sumakay na sir sa sasakyan sir.
So, ang sinasabi po nyo sa amin, nakilala lang sila nung nailawan sila ng headlight. Dahil pumara sila, siyempre, tumatakbo yung sakyan, naka-on yung headlight, nakita sila nung pumara. Yung po
Bali-
ba ang ibig nyo sabihin?
Bali, isa po sir yun. And then, pangalawa sir, yung isang suspect sir is lumapit sa driver. And then, pinapatay sir yung sasakyan. And then, yung sa, ano sir, ng ilaw. Yun sir yung, tapos sir yung umakyat sir. Bali kita kasi sir ng isang witness natin sir kasi nasa unahan sir siya, yung isang witness sir. Sa unahan nakaupo. Ganon din sir yung conductor sir. Kita nila sir, yung tatlo na tao na nasa loob sir, is kitang-kita sir yung sa labas sir na yung nagpara sir ng sasakyan.
Yun yung pang-apat na nasa kaliwa. Yung lumapit sa driver.
Yes sir, yun sa kaliwa
Yes.
sir.
Hindi siya nakamask na lumapit.
Yes sir, wala po sir.
So, kaya siya nakilala na puti ang buhok at may salamin, according to the statements of the witnesses.
Yes sir.
Okay. Thank you. Tama rin yung sabi po ninyo na kung ako ang driver, bakit ako titigil kung nakamask yung papara sa akin? So, yung mga statement ng mga kwan is logical. Kasi kung nakamas antimano yung mga accused at paparahin ang isang sasakyan, bakit titigil yung driver? The other issue is, wala po bang nakatira dun sa malapit na nakita itong incidenting ito? Do you have any other witnesses aside from the passengers, the drivers, and the conductor?
Bali po, sa lugar po mismo na kung saan nasunog itong minibus, wala pong bahay doon. Pero ang bahay po na nakapwesto doon, siguro po almost 100 meters ang layo doon sa incident scene. At doon din po nakatira itong isang tanod na napadaan sa lugar na yon bago pa po masunog itong minibus.
Pakiulit nga yung huli. Mayroong
May isa pong
ano?
tanod na nakatira almost 100 meters away from the incident scene. At siya po, bago masunog yung bus, dumaan po siya sa lugar na yan. At nakita niya po yung sinasabing 3 tao at saka 3 tao sa lugar na kanan ng bus nung mangyari ang sunog. At isa naman po doon sa kaliwa na di umano sabi ng witness ay nakasalamin.
Where yung bang taong ito na sinasabi niyong witness, kinunan niyo ba ng statement?
Meron po, kinunan po.
And was this submitted to the provincial, to the investigating prosecutor?
Naisubmit po.
Okay. Thank you. The other issue is, so, doon na-solve yung issue na kung paano sila nakilala. Di po ba? The other issue is the issue of alibi. Yung nasa ibang lugar sila habang yung arson ay nangyayari. Tama po ba?
Tama po.
Now, how would you answer na yung alleged suspects ay nandun sa isang lugar habang yung pagsusunog ng minibus ay nangyayari? How were you able to refute that?
Bali po sa information pong nakalap ko bilang investigador on case, ito pong caretaker ng Mikasa Resort ay nag-report sa Police Mulanay. Ang sabi po niya, dumating doon nung 5:48 ng hapon. Ngayon po, ang kasunod pong information, sinabi nila na umalis po itong 4 na lalaki sakay ng kanilang kotse, ganap na mga 6:30 ng hapon. At nang pong time na masunog itong minibus sa Katanawan, Quezon, ito pong 4 na lalaki na ito ay hindi pa rin po bumabalik dun sa Mikasa Resort kung saan po sila nag-check-in. At bumalik po sila ay ayon sa caretaker ng Mikasa Resort, 1:30 na po ng madaling araw ng February 1.
Pero ang allegation kasi, Iho, ay merong nag-testify na taga municipality ng Bulanay na nakita sila at the time na nasusunog yung bus at saka naandun sila sa lugar na yun. Yun yung testimony ng mga, if I remember it, 2 government officials.
Tama po. Tama po.
Yes.
Bali yan din po yung testimony na sinasabi nila, pero inaantay po namin na ilabas doon sa pinagbigyan po sila na makasagot sa kanilang counter affidavit, subalit hindi naman po na isubmit sa court, sa fiscal office yung kanilang counter affidavit na nagsasabi na sila nga po ay magkausap nung time na nangyari yung incident na pagsunog ng minibus.
Tama po yung sinabi ninyo, yung witnesses na ito, their statements were not presented by their counsel, by the counsel. Doon po sa preliminary investigation. Tama?
Tama po.
And therefore, since it was not, these statements were not submitted, binaliwala ng prosecutor yon.
Tama po.
Kasi ikaw ang humaharap doon, di ba?
Opo.
Being the investigator. So, dito po nakikita po natin yung lapses ng nangyari. Yung unang abogado, yung counsel, kaya pinasosomon. Would you agree with that, yung bagong lawyers ng mga accused?
Well, Mr. Chair, if you read Article 125 kasi, kahit po mga estudyante ko nahihirapan maintindihan yun eh. Mga gusto na po yan mag-abogado. So, ang iba nga po, kahit abogado na, nagtatanong pa rin sa akin. Kasi po, mahirap talaga siya naintindihin. Siguro po, as part of the mandate of this committee, it's an inquiry in aid of legislation. I think po, Congress can make our laws more understandable. Kasi kung yung nag-aaral nga po ng abogasiya, nahihirapan yun maintindihan, paano pa kaya po yung walang pinag-aralan? So, yun po yung call doon. And I think po, kailangan, I'm a teacher po kasi, hindi ko kayang mapabayaan na mali yung pagkakaintindi. If there's something wrong with the answer or the explanation, I have to call it out, outright. So, I just want to make it clear, Mr. Chair, that nothing cures an illegal arrest. Okay? Wala pong makaka-cure doon. The waiver of Article 125 only cures the period that you are detained without a valid warrant. Okay po? When you waive Article 125, sinasabi mo, okay, pag ako inaresto, dapat within 36 hours, na-file na sa kaso yung court. Na-file na yung kaso sa court. But pag ako nag-waive ng 125, sige, piskal, magdesisyon ka. Magdesisyon ka, pero ako, dito muna sa loob. Dito muna sa kulungan. Yun po yung hindi naiintindihan ng iba. Kasi po, ang iba, pag sinabing, okay, mag-waive ako ng 125, kasi bibigyan ako ng tsansa magpaliwanag. Bibigyan ka po ng tsansa magpaliwanag, pero wini-waive mo yung right mo na i-release ka within 36 hours. Pag wini-waive mo po yon, okay, dito lang ako sa loob ng kulungan habang si piskal nagdidesisyon. Yun po ang konsekwensya ng 125. I want to make it very clear po sa lahat ng mga estudyante ko, sa lahat ng law students, nothing cures an illegal arrest. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Narinig ko na rin po yan nung nag-aaral po ako ng law. Kaya wag nyo na po kaming lecturean dyan. Nothing cures an illegal arrest, but you have to prove that the arrest was illegal yet. Di po ba? Because if you allege that the arrest was illegal, then you have to prove that the arrest was illegal.
Yes, Mr.
He
Chair.
who averts must prove it. Tama rin po ba?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Yes. And you do not agree with the ruling of the prosecutor insofar as explaining the repercussions of waiving or availing of Article 125.
Well, Mr. Chair, this case is already filed in court and I am already bound by the sub judice rule.
Okay. But in this jurisdiction, we're not bound by the sub judice rule.
Yes, Mr. Chair, but
Yes,
as a lawyer,
there are
I
rulings
am.
of the Supreme Court already that proves or that says that we are not bound by the sub judice rule. in committee hearings of this House of Representatives.
Yes, I agree, Mr. Chair.
Yes, thank you. Because if you read the ruling, nandito naman po yung kwan eh. I do not know if you have read the resolution of the investigating prosecutor.
Yes, Mr. Chair. I read it personally when it was emailed to us.
Yes, and I would just like to emphasize that paragraph, and I would like to quote, "This undertaking were clearly discussed by their counsel." It pertains to the waiver of their rights. Before they voluntarily signed the waiver, the respondents were award-winning film director who graduated from a prestigious university. The other two respondents were both civil engineers, and the other is a sales manager. It is impossible that they did not understand the contents of the request, since their own lawyer assisted them in the process of signing them. That's the exact wordings of the resolution of the prosecutor or investigating prosecutor. Yun po yung kwan. So, while I agree with you that students of law, or even lawyers for that matter, do not fully grasp the meaning of this waiver, I agree with you, Madam. Pero ito po ay kasama sa protocol, di po ba? At ginawa naman, pinagawa ng prosecutor na yung counsel of choice ipaliwanag bago pirmahan yung waiver na yon. That is the protocol, di po ba? Kasi I have been an investigator in my whole life. At ginagawa talaga ito. Di po ba?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
So, yeah. So, nagawa naman yung prosecutor lahat ng protocol para maprotektahan yung karapatan ng mga accused. The way I look at it, yun ang kwan. Doon sa mga pulis, doon sa hot pursuit to be kwan, hindi naman kailangan na ilagay mo doon sa blatter na you're conducting hot pursuit. Hot pursuit is brought about because of the second instance where you can arrest a person without any warrant of arrest. Kaya intindihin po yun. Kasi palagi nyo ginagamit yung term na hot pursuit, wala naman sa provision of law yung term na hot, or yung phrase na hot pursuit eh. Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Kasi
Yeah, thank you so much.
Itong kaso ay nasa korte na,
Oo nga eh. So,
doon na sila maglaban-laban.
Yeah.
Thank